Hey everybody, and welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at something that's quite important really for any game going forward, and it's something you probably want to add in sort of in the early side of your development. The reason being is you want to be amending this kind of as you go on. Every time you make a variable that needs updating between levels, you need to kind of probably be making this affected. It's something that I need to do because obviously soon I'm going to be starting to world build, and of course I'm going to want to have these variables repeated and kind of stored as we kind of go forward. And that is loading and saving your game. It sounds so basic, but it is so important at the same time. I have gone through and just made this so it works. So I'll show you. If I press start, you can see my health. If I then go here and I click N to save the game, if I then kind of take some damage now. Oh, where's the damage on? There it is. Oh, that'll do. And then save and close the game down. If I then play, the game will remember where my health was on that last save and my location too. So for example, if I run over here, I don't save anything and I press play now, when the game loads in, it remembers where I was and my health. And it will work for ammo too. So if I reload and I save, I run over here, I come out, I go in, I pull up my pistol, it remembers how much ammo I've got as well. So let's start by looking at setting this up. Now I won't go and create this part again because it seems a bit pointless, but if you right click on Blueprint class and click on all classes and go save game, open that up, give it a name, and you will be given this. And what this is technically just a list of variables that you want to be put into your save game. You don't need everything, so like stamina seems a bit pointless. There's no real point doing stamina because by the time you've loaded a level in, your stamina would be back to normal anyway, so you might as well just start with your max stamina. The things like your current health, where you want health kits to load up your health, or like ammo reserves, your current ammo and your clip, your player location, collectibles will be another thing down the line you want to add to this, and there's a bunch of stuff. So yeah, this is what you kind of want to put in here, just a list of variables you've already created within your third person character. And this is basically the bare bones of what I've set up, but we're going to delete all of this now and start again. Okay, so compile, because obviously I don't want to cheat. I've created these two new functions, so you'll want to do the same. If you click on new function, I'll call this save game toot. You want to basically do a check, does save game exist? Now I'm going to give mine a slot name. You can promote this to a variable and change it. For example, if you wanted to have 3 different save files, you could do that in the menus, and then it would affect, you'd basically set that slot name, save game 1, save game 2, save game 3, and then you would set this variable so that when you load up the game, it'll check that depending on what you've clicked. That's quite easy to do, but I'm not quite there ready to set that sort of stuff up yet. And then you want to do a branch just to check that's done. If it's false, we want to create save game object, and we'll set this to our Haven save system. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. And then if it's true, we want to load game from slot, and that slot being the one we want created, which is 1. We also want to promote promote that to a variable, and call that, I'm going to use my one I created already. Just set it to whatever you want it to be, but save ref is fine. I don't want to go naming too many variables and getting confused with my game project. And do the same thing down here. We want to make sure they are set. And then we want to cast to our Haven save system. Like so. And both of those can fit into there quite nicely. Now, I'm going to just copy and paste this over. But the next thing you want to do is basically set your variables, okay, to those new variables. Now, as I said, I'm going to copy and paste mine, but just to show you, you want to set player transform like that, and then just to show you one more, pull off from your Haven system on the save, not from your third person character. Set current health, for example. And then all you want to do, so for the transform, you want to get actor transform like so, and that's all you need to do for that one. And for the others, all you need to do is plug in the same variables from your third person character like so. So just to show you here, this is what I've done. I'm going to just copy and paste this part here into my save game toot, just to save me some time, if it'll let me. Did I not copy and paste that? Okay, it won't let me. Fine. Alright. We'll do the old fashioned way then. Set pistol current reserve. I'm just going to set the pistol up for this one because I've already done it for the other one. You can do whatever variables you want to do for yours. Okay. So just set that up like that. Okay, and then again find those two pistol current and rifle and pistol reserve, sorry. There we go, just like that. And that will now save those variables for you, okay? Compile. And then we want to save game. Where is it? Save game to slot. And we'll set it to 1. Not Q, 1. Set that to 1 and plug in that reference save ref. No, we don't. We want to save it to the TP game save. No, we don't. Sorry, I'm using the wrong variables. We want to save it to the save ref. There we go, the one we created for this. And that's all you need to do for saving your variables. So every time you hit that save button, it will save all those variables and remember them. What you want to do as well, when you start level loading, we will touch upon this when we start creating our areas, but when you go through a checkpoint or into a new area, you want to save the game. So save all those variables before you leave, load the level in, and then load them up again. And that way, it will always, because if you go into a new area without saving and loading your variables, it will just revert them back to what their defaults are, and that will just, people will get confused and you'll be like, what's going on with my health, sort of thing. Or they'll find just hack ways to get around your game and things. So now we want to do our load game, okay, and it looks like this. All right, it's very similar. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this. So create a new function called load game. You want to do a does save game exist and branch that. Okay, again, if you've got a slot name variable, plug that in or set it to whatever you want it to be. Mine's obviously number 1. We'll do a branch and it will only come off the true, okay, because if there's no game save, we don't want it to load anything. So just off the true, load game slot number 1. Again, set that reference, so it sets the load game to that reference that we're trying to call the function of and cast to the Haven system. When it comes to setting your variables, we're going to do the opposite now. We want to set these, so we want to pull off, for example, current health. I've got current stamina, but that's fine. And set that from our third person character. Do not set it from your save game file. Set the third person character, and then we want to pull off of here and get current health, for example, and plug that in together. So it's the reverse this time. Okay, and that way, once that's all set up, so you've got all your variables from your player, and you've got all the gets from your save system, plug them all together. The last thing you want to do is pull off, get a set actor transform, target itself, because it's the third person character we're setting this to now. We want to get that transform variable we would have set up in the save file. So within our Haven save system, we've got a player transform, which is just a standard transform. Pull that off, get the transform. I split it. You don't have to, because the scales can be set as well. It doesn't really make much difference. But I've just put those two in there for now, and that's all you have to do on that side of things. Okay, so you can compile, save that, and that will be exactly how you want to load your game. Come back into the event graph. Now we've already set up a sequence for some other stuff, but we want this to happen first, so I've made an extra pin, pushed this operation of order down, because we want this to happen after we've saved our game. Pull off and get does game save exist. Again, we're checking for that slot name branch, so that we can check to see if that's true. If it's true, we want to load game from slot, and that's we can probably actually just pull the load game, right? That would be way quicker. Delete that. What is going on? My computer's being very slow today. Delete. Why aren't you letting me delete? Okay, it's stuck there for some reason. I'm not sure. Break node link. Delete. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll just put that up there for now. Weird. Load game function. We can just load it in, and it will remember everywhere we've been on event begin play. Now we need a way to save. Of course, if we don't have a save game file, we probably want to save one there as well. Compile, and that will just create this save file. You can also manipulate and just save when you want, instead of it doing it in between sections. You don't really want to give the player this feature. You just want this to happen for testing purposes. So let's get the N key. Where is it? The N key, the N key, the N key, N key. And when we press it, we just want to save game, like so. And then just do a print string. And this is, again, all just debugging stuff, so just save game, like so. You also might want to delete a save file. So if you're just testing and you're like, oh, I don't really need this file anymore, I want to restart, and I don't want it to keep any of the same information when I reload the game, you can, if I get the M key, wherever it is, where's the M key, there it is, we can press it and just delete that slot if we want to, and then just go print string, and we'll just say save deleted, like so. Okay, and then compile, and we'll just give it a test and see what happens. It should already be working, because obviously I've set a lot of this up prior. So it's remember that save file that we obviously did before. So if I click M to delete that save, if we press play now, it puts us back to our starting position. Something you want to be very careful of when you're setting these things up, because you really don't want to have that affect any player save. So it's probably best to delete it once you've tested that it works, and the only time you want to have it delete is when you're in your menus and players actually do click that button to delete it. That's the only time you ever want to see that, really. But let's just make sure the save works. So let's come up, save game, click off, And we should... Oh, ooh. That didn't work, did it? Let's try this again. Play. Okay, so something's not working with the save file system. Ah, because this hasn't got the Haven system plugged into it. There we go. Let's try that again now. It should work. Save the game. Get rid. Press play. There we go. There we go. So yeah. So what was happening there is I didn't plug in the Haven game system into that create the file. So just remember to do that as well. But yeah, so hopefully this has helped you on the way to sort of creating save files and loading your game and things. As I said, the only other time you'll use those options now is when you do level transitions. So when you leave a level, you'll want to, as I said, save that game, then unload the level, reload the new level, and then save it upon spawning into that world. That way you'll be better off in the long run, and players won't get annoyed. I think there was a brand new game out called Scorn, and people were like, oh, the level saving and loading is horrendous. If I die, I go miles back. You'll want to make sure you've got reasonable save states and locations, or maybe checkpoints throughout your game. And it's one thing people do overlook, and then when you go to test and you're like dying and going miles back, it's such a pain to go back and add that in afterwards. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget, if you want anything covered, please leave me a comment in below, and of course like, subscribe. You can always change your mind down the line, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.